Welcome to Alaya, home of consciousness. Risho and Grandcho, Vanyanek the sea, kan lak doi na, kam das kashiao, kan dian na kianolesh sakya, Vanyanam da, karilok rashola, Vanjante kanyo si, Vene klachu, Nam Sajai de Nokta Ken de Brupnyo do Kishalavan Sarila Kishalovante Non Shlo Ramnek de Na Saidavan Di Bron Krak and Shakine Vusho Dam Yete Nakta Sho Dishpa Kishola Nien On Sho Akre Vanyara Plasheto Vonyum Kavush Dakiana Sai Isha. In this time of our lives, there are many changes that are taking place, some not so pleasant, others all right. But the whole object of becoming the consciousness itself is to be able to balance the world in all of its various turmoils and chaos. It is very natural for us to draw away from that, to turn our back on it. But as consciousness, we actually have an obligation to hold the space, making it possible for others that might just detect or see it or become aware of it. I know it seems very futile in various ways because there are so many conditions and concepts and beliefs that keep people tied into a pattern of the other. The consciousness is eliminating the other. No need for a separate something or other. It is all things to all people, to all situations, and still remains unconditional and allowing. Very magical in various ways, very powerful in other ways. So as we find ourselves in the space of unfolding, we see and realize and embrace within ourselves that which is becoming the true self. The true self is the very presence of the consciousness, not separate from it, but very much it. So in finding our way in the world of chaos and beliefs and conditioning, we take sometimes seems like baby steps small movements, but each one is holding and opening a wider and more expansive space of becoming. The consciousness is not a belief. It is an actual thing that exists and has always existed, but mostly misinterpreted and cast into various beliefs and concepts of the other. But as you in yourself become aware of this consciousness, the consciousness, not consciousness. They're two separate things, really. The consciousness is a power, a presence, an expansive energy field that is constantly taking onto itself all the opportunities that are presented and melting them in a form of becoming through allowing and awareness. So as we embrace this possibility, we first embrace it in ourselves. It's like we can say, that was saying is charity begins at home. The consciousness begins at home in you. And as you see examples of it around you, the examples are the things that are happening that seem to defy the intellect. Almost magical in ways. So we begin to be aware and open to these changing energy fields that we live in, and understanding that we are all right moment by moment. We may not be able to feel all right in the future self, but in the present self, we're all right. Because the all rightness as the consciousness is the moment. It's not tomorrow or last week. It is now, in the moment. So one is eternally present as the consciousness in this life. You become an example. You exemplify a higher existence and possibilities for all who might tune in or see or embrace or allow something more in their life. That something more edges out, pushes out beliefs, concepts, and conditioning. There's not a lot of work that one has to do in embracing the consciousness, because the consciousness itself, in its expansive possibilities, transcends beliefs and conditioning of one's past, providing you are allowing, that you are allowing for that possibility. It's not something you do, it's simply something you allow. To allow the consciousness to remove the past. Nothing wrong with the past, it just was the past. You can look at it and say, yeah, that happened, yes, that took place, yes. But the consciousness itself was not in charge, because one's beliefs were in charge. And beliefs create false things, false realities, false experiences that have no validity in what is the actualization of this life as the consciousness. So we embrace it as best we can, moment by moment, holding the expectation and allowing that we are becoming more through each experience. Not resisting life at all, but embracing life in its totality. Not running away from anything. We simply are being this consciousness, moment by moment, through every experience. So as one sees these possibilities and embraces them, you notice things about yourself. You notice how you are slowly transforming, changing, becoming more, having greater sensitivity to the energy of life, having a greater awareness of what other people are. It does create a lot of compassion for others because you know they don't have the benefit of this knowing. They are still thriving on their beliefs and conditioning from their past, quite stuck, quite locked into that's the way it is. In the consciousness, we can't say that's the way it is anywhere because it is always, constantly revealing itself in situations, in circumstances, and events. We have to be very present and aware and wise, seeing it taking place. Otherwise, it's easy to be overwhelmed or overshadowed with conditional stuff. So we are free in the consciousness to be all that we can be moment by moment. And that is a constantly becoming process. There's no end to the journey in the consciousness. It's like it's always beginning, always in the beginning, with no end. Such a journey that we are on, to embrace, to allow, to discover, to appreciate what it is, moment by moment.
Johanna says, thank you. Allowing transcends doing. I also love to hear about compassion for others.
Yes. Now there's a saying from my past, I don't know if anybody else has heard it, probably has, but it says to walk a mile in someone else's shoes before you make a judgment.
And Todd says, beautiful talk. Thank you so much, Ishvara.
Thank you.
And Anna and Slava say, thank you, Ishvara. Much love.
You're welcome, and much love back to you. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for your love and your support.